Uh, so I think it's about December 30th, round about that time. I figured it's about time I made another video, because I think the last one I did was a month after my serotonin reaction. So it's been a very, very long time. And for some of you, you probably would have realised I haven't posted anything on my Facebook or anything like that since February. I think it was February, around the time of the earthquake anniversary. And yeah, I suppose it would have been a while. So yes, I'm alright, obviously because I'm sitting here. I don't have many effects now from, the serotonin thing, but it screwed up my my internal system and stuff a lot worse than what I had thought. So I've become prone to migraines all the time, and a lot of issues around the IBS and that sort of stuff. I basically became allergic to a lot of food, so now I have to watch what I eat and what I drink. Yeah, I think looking back, if someone were to say to me at the start of 2016, you're going to be eating healthier, you're going to be exercising, you're going to be drinking water and stuff, given that I was a hardcore Coke drinker, I probably would have laughed at them, eh? But yeah, I mean, I've slowly got there. I exercise more than I used to, a lot more than I used to. I think I've lost 10 plus kg. It's been a while since the last time I weighed myself, and we don't have scales here. But yeah, I figured, I might as well shoot something, just end of year stuff, a bit like I did last year. Let you know that I am okay and all that. It's been a particularly tough year, I think, not just for me but for everyone. I mean, we've lost a lot of idols and heroes in the artistic community, so artists, musicians, writers, film and television, just people we look up to and stuff. And I don't know, it's been a crazy year when it comes down to that sort of stuff. And yeah, I mean, I think it's been very hard for a lot of people to go on. There's been a lot of changes for many people that have just proven to be quite difficult just to get through, the widening gaps for some people, particularly here in New Zealand, the lack of support you find in mental health and that kind of stuff. And then of course, we've had multiple large quakes again and all that. We've had condemned buildings and lots of changes that are very hard to cope with, very hard to deal with. But we will get there. We will keep persevering, and eventually things will work itself out. I'm hoping 2017 will be better for us than what this year has been. What to talk about? I don't really have any set ideas of stuff to talk about or anything. I just thought, I'd like to do something. So I suppose, given that I disappeared off Facebook and all that, a lot of people are probably wondering what I've been doing. I'd love to say that I've been playing the guitar and working on my writing and my artwork and that sort of stuff, but I really haven't. I don't know. The stuff that went down last year just continued to sort of get worse. There was a lot more abuse that got flung my way. Some of it got directed towards my family, which was completely unfair. And we've lost a lot of our family members, or had family members going through extremely tough things. Personally, for me, people that I would have thought would, be there to support weren't there to support at all. Some just became downright abusive and horrible. So I just sort of walked away and all that. Went through the change of medication, and going to sertraline was meant to sort of help, because we thought that my old stuff had sort of plateaued out. And of course, looking back at the videos, you'll see that didn't actually happen, and I did watch the video the other day that I made about, I don't know, maybe a week or so after it happened, where I was shaking quite violently, and it was sad to see myself in such a state, given how proud I've been of how far I've come with, since quitting drinking and quitting smoking and all that sort of stuff. So of course, when that didn't work out, we set up for the counselling thing. The counselling thing didn't work out too well to begin with, but by the end of it, it's been pretty good. Next year I'll probably go back into it with the same counsellor, because we finally found a good rapport and all that sort of stuff. I'm hoping that next year we'll also work towards getting more music done, and getting a bit more writing down, and doing some artwork and stuff. I think I still haven't found anything to do with my IT diploma, so that kind of sucked. But in some ways, I've actually been quite appreciative of people like Penny Underbust, who allows me to moderate her streams on Twitch, because it's about the closest thing I've got to actually doing something with my IT diploma. And I've actually really appreciated the friendship I've had with her this year, and with her husband, and people that I've looked up to in the cosplay community, sort of thing, particularly like I think it's Joker's Girl in Australia, and I can't remember his name. His real name's Russell. I'll try to put a link down in the description thing to some of these people. And Julie Kitter, she's actually been pretty neat to chat away to about cosplay stuff and get inspiration. And of course I went off to Armageddon, so that was the first time I've ever cosplayed something. And, so in some ways I've really pushed myself this year beyond where I thought I would be. And I'd actually have to say that, like I said earlier, I would have laughed at some of the stuff that has happened. Like the idea that I would go out and get quite fancy clothing, so hopefully I can slice in here a photo of very nice clothing that I've recently procured. The idea that I would do something like that has been probably a joke. It's not something I do. So in some ways it sort of feels like I'm adulting at last, working on learning new skills, and I don't know, building myself up again, and just not beating myself up about things that have gone wrong, and constantly going over it, sort of thing. I still have issues with anxiety and other things, but I'm getting there. I'd have to say, watching some of you guys, I've been really proud of where you've got yourselves and how well you're doing. Because it's not easy to keep going out there, and it's not easy to keep doing anything at all, really. And for some of us, I know it's been a really hard year with watching family members going through the cancer and various cancers. I mean, there's been several in my family that have gone through it. I don't know. I'd have to say that the past couple of years I've really got sick and tired of burying my friends and burying my family. I'm only 32, so, I don't feel like I should be putting so many people into the ground at this point of my life, And I'd admit that I've become quite fearful of losing people like my parents, because they've supported me through a hell of a lot of stuff, and I realised that it's not easy to have a child with the issues that I do. So I'm really appreciative of what they've done for me and all their support, and the rest of my family too. They've been great. I know, like, I've spent probably the past year not really playing any of the games at the clubs like I used to, like X-Wing and stuff, but I'm hoping next year we'll get back into that and get in the swing of things, and we'll pull off some more stuff. I would have to say probably one of my biggest improvements is that I've worked more on my my photography. Past couple of weeks I've been stalking a quail around the property continuously, because it gets up on fence posts and then it calls out. So I've been sneaking out there with the camera, and for Christmas I got a tripod, so with the tripod I finally managed to get a good photo of it, which hopefully I can insert about here. And yeah, I mean, I've dropped out of my support group quite a bit, mainly because of health issues. Like, if I haven't had issues with anxiety, I've had issues with migraines, or I've had issues with other things. Like my heart's not done the right thing, sort of thing, and it fluctuates at times. At the moment, I think I'm having trouble with my asthma, which is really annoying because I don't know anyone else with my form of asthma. So it becomes quite lonely at times in that respect, because you don't have anybody to springboard your experiences off. I wouldn't say I've been on many journeys this year. I don't think I've actually been out a hell of a lot. I was meant to do the Sound of Thunder, but I missed that because so I can't remember why I missed it, but I ended up in Oxford that day anyway. I think it was just too much trouble to get from where I am into the speed park for it. But next year I have hopes to get to the Sound of Thunder. I've already got tickets to the Great Kiwi Beer Fest, so I'll be doing that. Hopefully be going to the Darkness with my eldest brother, which would be good, because I think the last concert or last thing that we went to was Shehad out at the Bedford, so what was CPIT, now ARA Institute. It'd be good to have something with them. I was going to go to Devilskin, but I don't really have the money to afford to do that for New Year's, plus I don't have anywhere to stay. So I'm probably going to can that. Besides which, I've had issues with like heat exhaustion. Thankfully, not really thankful, but thanks to the serotonin reaction. The part of my brain that controls heat has been damaged again. So now my body temperature regulation works even worse than it did before. It used to be it just would heat for ages and then eventually it would break and I'd start to cool down. Now it doesn't work properly at all. It fluctuates. Sometimes it goes okay, other times it doesn't. So I've had points where I basically collapse because of the heat. I can't get away from it. I can't cool down. It's been a real pain in the ass. What else is there? Trying to think. I have done some musical stuff, not a lot. Very little plugged into the amps and that sort of stuff. But hopefully in the new year, I've set goals to sit down. We'll do some of my poetry and stuff now that I have the tripod. That should help quite a bit. So I want to do some more with my poems and that sort of stuff. I'd like to do an actual series on YouTube, which has to do with the music I've collected, sort of thing, and just be short tidbit things instead of really long videos like this one is obviously going to be, because I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a very long time and I've waffled a lot. But I'm hoping next year we'll do a few more cosplay stuff, probably just Armageddon, but I'd like to build some more stuff so that I've actually got it. I'm hoping to move forward with my driving. So obviously with issues around my head and stuff, I haven't been able to drive. So I'm hoping to fix or remedy that this coming year. Start driving around, and I'd like to go off on some adventures. So yeah, I'd have to say, if you want to come on an adventure or take me on an adventure, maybe push for it. That would be really good. I might work on recording some more of my gaming later on. I'd actually like to get a video camera and an actual microphone to record stuff with, so that it actually sounds better than what I get from here, and what I'm hoping is actually okay audio, given the camera is now slightly further away, but I think it frames up better, and obviously it's going to be a lot more stable than what it was. So yeah, going into 2017, I hope you guys have a good, safe New Year's. I hope you enjoy yourself. I'm hoping that the year ahead will be a lot better for all of us, and that any goals or dreams that you set and you really set your heart to, that you'll be able to achieve. So yeah, this is me for the end of the year, and I'm hoping that the next year will just be tops for all of us. Take care of yourselves.